The roots of our own existence as humans can be traced exceedingly far, but it is within our own class that many similarities can be noticed by one that has never taken biology a single day in their life. The ways we get our energy, reproduce, and survive are all related, but vary in simplicity. The size of our class is nothing compared to that of insecta, nor nearly as diverse, yet mammals continue to dominate the earth in their own way. The locomotion of mammals is similar to that of reptiles and some insects. Mammals are tetrapods, meaning they have 4 legs or arms, depending on how the mammal uses them. Mammals use their legs and arms for a number of things, such as walking, climbing, swimming, and some of them can fly. The hands and feet of mammals vary. Some have claws, while some have toes, and others have hooves. Aquatic animals, like dolphins and whales, have flippers, which replace legs after the animal adapted to the water. Mammals depend on their respiratory system to fuel cellular respiration. In order for the mammals to change energy and glucose to ATP, electrons must pass down an electron transport chain. Oxygen is the final acceptor of those electrons. Without oxygen to receive those electrons, cellular respiration would stop. The lungs of a mammal have a spongy texture. The muscular diaphragm drives breathing, and when the diaphragm expands, it causes air to enter the oral nasal cavities, through the larynx, and finally extending the alveoli. Relaxing the diaphragm causes contraction, which pushes the air back out. Mammals have bilateral symmetry, meaning only one plane can produce a mirror image on both sides, excluding internal detail. Cephalization, or the movement of nervous tissue to one end of the organism, and bilateral symmetry allowed mammals to have sensory organs facing the direction of movement. This allowed them to adapt to environments in which they needed to move. The integumentary system of mammals, where the skin contains 3 layers. The 3 layers are called the epidermis, the dermis, and the hypodermis. The epidermis is the outermost layer, which is waterproof. Epidermis cells can constantly die and are lost, but replacement cells from deeper within the integumentary system are pushed upwards. The dermis is the middle layer, and is much thicker than the epidermis and contains components such as blood vessels. Below the dermis is the hypodermis, which is the innermost layer. Adipose tissue makes up the hypodermis, which is meant to store lipids and provide insulation. The thickness of the hypodermis varies widely depending on the species. One of the most well-known traits of mammals is the fact that they are endothermic, or warm-blooded. Their body temperatures are far more constant than that of a reptile. This is an advantage when it comes to adapting to the environment. Mammals can survive in cold environments where no insect or reptile can. A contributing factor to this advantage is the mammal's fur or hair. Like birds that possess plumage, the mammal's fur helps regulate the core temperature of the animal. Endothermic animals also have disadvantages. Endothermy requires more energy than ectothermy, so mammals must consume more food than reptiles. Most mammals give birth to live offspring. However, monotremes are unique in the way that they lay eggs. A well-known monotreme is the platypus. During embryonic development in mammals, the morula travels to the uterus around 3 to 4 days after fertilization. On the 4th day, a fluid-filled space called the blastocoel cavity appears. This is blastulation. This marks the change of the morula to a blastocyst. Graduation occurs around 15 days after fertilization. The inner cell divides into the epiblast and hypoblast. The hypoblast then covers the blastocoel, resulting in the creation of a yolk sac. The fluid-filled cavity will contain the embryo as it further develops. The class Mammalia, while being one of the smallest, contains much diversity. All around the world you can find mammals that are incredibly different according to their parents or that of their environment. They are on the land,